Some more really interesting news coming out of the World Championships this year in Denmark, as it has been recently broken out that Team Canada has made another acquisition. This time, it's Windsor Spitfires Vancouver Canucks goaltender prospect, Michael DiPietro. And my first initial reaction to this was, yeah, he's probably only gonna play one game max. Of course, I don't see DiPietro being the starter. That's kind of obvious, considering that the talent level over there in the World Championships is NHL caliber talent for the most part. You got some other guys like Bo Horvat and Pettersson and whatnot, but for the most part, this is really, really cool. Because if you want to talk about DiPietro this season, DiPietro is a guy who isn't necessarily the biggest. Coming into the draft last season, not that many people were expecting a really, really high selection for DiPietro, and that's kind of fair, seeing as he did go in the third round. He's 6 feet tall, basically exactly, so he's not necessarily that big of a goalie, but he's still a guy who's able to stop the puck. For 2 straight years, he led the OHL in shutouts. Last season, he got 6. This season, he was up at 7. Which is kind of interesting because the second point guy, Kyle Kaiser, got only 4 shutouts. It's kind of a staple as to just how goaltending is over there in the OHL. Seeing as you get a lot of guys who are getting a lot of points, it's not really surprising that there aren't that many guys getting that high save percentages. In terms of save percentages, though, if you want to take a look at full-time starting goaltenders, Michael DiPietro is 6th, basically, in terms of full-time starting goaltenders, with a 9-10 save percentage in 56 games played. Now, obviously, that's not necessarily that good. I mean, it's pretty manageable, yeah, for sure, but, again, he's playing in the OHL, there's a lot of goals over there. If you go by goals against average, DiPietro's goals against average, a .279, and amongst full-time starters, he was actually 4th. Yeah, he's 4th. In terms of guys above 7 games played, DiPietro has the 4th best goals against average with a .279. So again, it's the league. And Michael DiPietro is a player who has really shoved in the face of controversy and said that, yeah, he's able to play at a good level. Because he played for the Windsor Spitfires, yes, they won the championship last season. This season, they got eliminated in the playoffs. A 4-2 loss to the Sarnia Sting in the series, which leaves Michael DiPietro a free man. No longer playing with a team, Team Canada at the World Championships has asked him to represent the jersey. And that's crazy. Considering the fact that Michael DiPietro was cut from the World Junior Canadian squad, he played a game or 2, I believe, before getting sent home along guys like Cole Lind and Cody Glass. But now, fast forward a few months, he's making the World Championship Team Canada team with NHL talent. We got guys like Bo Horvat on this team. Connor McDavid's gonna be on this team. And Michael DiPietro is one of the players who will be blessed with the opportunity to maintain a composure and a game with these guys. As I said at the beginning, I don't really know how many games he's going to play. He'll probably play 1, if I have to be honest, considering the gap in experience and talent with the guys who they got. DiPietro's probably due for at least 1 start, and that's probably it. But still, this tournament's going to be on for a few weeks, and Michael DiPietro is going to be the 3rd goaltender. So that means that if any one of the guys get hurt, you know that DiPietro's going to move up a spot in the ladders right here. But if things go to absolute bananas, DiPietro might play more than I'm predicting here with 1 game. And of course, I don't wish ill health upon anybody, but it would be interesting to see DiPietro step into a role where he actually has to be relied upon as a number 1, number 2 guy. But seeing things as they are now, DiPietro is an 18-year-old goaltender, and he's going to the World Championships. He's had so many good achievements this season. He won the Player of the Week a few months ago. He was also the Goaltender of the Week a few months ago. In that initial month of September where he won the Player of the Week in the CHL as well as the Goaltender of the Week in the CHL, it's reported here, 3 wins, 0 losses, and a goals against average of 1. which included a shutout victory and a save percentage of .966. Considering he turned aside 86 shots in the week, things were great. Things were absolutely great back in September for the Windsor Spitfires and Michael DiPietro. Nowadays, though, he is a little bit at a different state of statistics. Of course, a 2.79 goals against average isn't necessarily the best, but considering the league, once again, you gotta give him that. And he's got that. And he's been given many other things too, because he's proving to everybody that he is a noteworthy name. And now he has his opportunity to show things off and to develop alongside of these fantastic, already NHL caliber-like athletes at the World Championships in Denmark. Again, I don't know how many games he's going to play, but this is an opportunity for him to grow, learn, develop, and basically play with the best of the best. At least, the best of the best that's not in the playoffs right now. Considering Bo Horvat's also going to be on the team as well, this will provide some really good opportunities for the two to possibly connect, and Bo Horvat could give some of his good leadership vibes, spread them off to DiPietro, and shape him more into an athlete more fitting to step into the Vancouver locker room as quickly as possible. And I'm not saying that DiPietro is going to come into Vancouver next season or the season after that, because he'll probably spend another year in Windsor and then go over to Utica after. It really depends. Goaltenders, you don't know what's going to happen with them. But the fact that he's got this opportunity now, at 18 years old, he's still 18, turning 19 in June, so by the time this tournament is over, he's still 18. The fact that he's this young and he's getting this opportunity to be the goaltender on Team Canada, it's great. And this is the ultimate just screw you to the World Juniors team that screwed him off. And don't get me wrong, Carter Hart absolutely deserved the World Junior spot that year. He was fantastic and definitely hands down the best decision possible. But DiPietro getting sent back, that really was shocking to a few people. And now he's in the World Championships at 18 years old. This is so strange because back last year before the draft, do you think us Canucks fans really would have envisioned having two players from the 2017 draft going to the World Championships? One might have been interesting because, our first round pick, 5th overall, yeah, probably him, right? But our 3rd round pick too is now going there as well. 64th overall in the 3rd round, Michael DiPietro is a World Championship class athlete, and he will be competing with them. And I'm so excited, because it's not like Demko is our only good goaltender prospect in the system. Sure, he may be the one that's closer to coming to the NHL, seeing that he's already played a game, but DiPietro's no slouch either. And seeing as he is 6 feet tall, seeing as he was the 3rd goalie taken in the draft last season, behind guys like Ottinger as well as Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, it's obvious to see that he hasn't had things necessarily the easiest. And, of course, he was still able to prevail. Fantastic numbers in September and January, and overall just an amazing season leading the OHL once again in shutouts, and consistently proving himself as a top goaltender in the OHL, at 6 feet, by the way. Things are really good for this kid, and I wish him the total best going over to the World Championships. And now, if my total fantasy plays out, Canada and Team Sweden will play in the finals, and what will happen is Elias Pettersson will grab himself 5 goals on Team Canada's starter, he will get pulled, DiPietro will come in, he shuts the door, and Bo Horvat comes over and scores 6, leading everybody to believing that this was a Vancouver Canucks World Championship dominated event. And who knows, Olli Juolevi might be going too. He's a question mark for now, but he certainly might have the potential of stepping into the Team Finland roster as well. But for now, all we got is Anders Nilsson for Team Sweden, Elias Pettersson also for Team Sweden, and then for Team Canada, we got ourselves Bo Horvat and Michael DiPietro. And I'm excited. I'm so excited. I was never really one to get excited about guys like Edler and the Sedins going, because I'd always see them there, and by the time they went recently, I was like, yeah, okay, Edler's there again, cool. Oh, Edler just scored a goal, that's pretty good. But it's different now. It's way different that we're seeing all of our prospects and the guys who we picked up as early as last year having these opportunities, and it's so refreshing as a Canucks fan, and I'm so happy just to say that I'm being able to watch this happen. Being able to witness Michael DiPietro set great numbers over there in Windsor, and now stepping in to the Maple Leaf sweater. For the second time, mind you, but hopefully much longer than the first. Hope you guys enjoyed this editor plus Gaming, and bye.